brought to you by Dixie and Lily, playing Charles Taylor and Michael Ignatieff. Right? Good girl.
Hi, and welcome to the studio. We're here today with two very interesting individuals. We have Michael Ignatieff and we have Charles Taylor, two well-known Canadians who have come to regale us with tales of rights and equality, the tangible and the intangible. So let's start off with a question. Let's talk about recognition, something you guys both seem to discuss a lot in your work. How about you tell me about that?
Well, Mr. Speaker, thank you for having me. We all want to feel special and acknowledged for the unique individuals we are. That's how we get to the heart of real recognition. But we also want our distinctiveness recognized in public. As citizens, we want public officials to pay attention to us as individuals with particular needs. Well, Mr. Ignatieff, those are very good points on recognition. But when I look at it from my perspective, I believe that government plays a much bigger part in true recognition. You have focused on the individual, and while I understand where you're coming from, a stronger governmental approach is needed. This approach needs to be rooted in law, not personal bias. It wouldn't be until these ideas are reflected in law that an effective result will occur at the individual level. My perspective is rights should be based on equality.
Well, it sounds like you're both talking a lot about laws now, and recognition, and the intangibility of recognition, but then bringing it to the tangible level in law. It seems to me that is like a common ground for the two of you to talk about rights. So let's talk more about that. Let's get your perspectives on law.
Well, Mr. Taylor, law is all good and all, but if we refer back to my book, I talk about a case study where our government gave our First Nations Aboriginal people a proclamation in 1763 to recognize their treaty rights and henceforth identify them as a separate nation. This was all very well laid out in law, but later, in 1867, we reneged on our promises and evaporated all of the treaties we gave them. So, you can see from this example that law is in fact not infallible. Alright, so law may not be perfect, but at the end of the day, it is the foundation to every good society. When we look at the universal human potential model, we see that one, as an individual, must access their own life chances and their position in society to truly access and to use law to their own benefit. Law is just the structure to which people can access these fundamental rights. Law may not be perfect, but it is an equalizer, and the idea of law is to place everyone on the same spectrum, no matter their race, gender, or ethnicity.
Well, Taylor, wait, it seems like you're a little all over the place. I mean, you yourself, in your book, criticize law. So, what are you saying here? You yourself said that laws and government recognition, like laws working through government recognition, co-constitute group identity itself. So aren't you kind of arguing with yourself?
Well, Mr. Speaker, you are exactly right. I do not take a definitive stance on either positive or negative. My stance is that law is the arbiter, that it is simply the constant in a fluxing equation that is equality, and that it is the individual's job to access the law, to access their own equality. Alright, this video is brought to you by Dixie and Lily, playing James...
No.
Is it Michael?
It's just Charles.
Charles.